Hey everyone, my name is AJ.
I'm Dianne.
And we're here at 8 Ounce today to show you some ins and outs of the Clever Dripper. This year I competed in Brewers Cup and competed against many great competitors. It was a great time. But one of the things that caught everyone's eye is the Clever Dripper, which was used in compulsory. If you don't know what compulsory is, we're basically handed a coffee, and within 30 minutes, we have to find a recipe and then brew 3 cups for judges in 7 minutes. So it's very tight on timing. You need to already go into the process already with an idea of a recipe and everything else. And Ben Putt from Monogram Coffee, if you haven't heard of the name and you've been living underneath a rock for the last half a decade or so, Ben has made his name and done extremely well on the world scale, placing in top 3 multiple times for espresso based beverages. But this year he tried his hand at the Brewers Cup, so like pour over coffee instead of espresso. And unlike Michael Jordan going to baseball, he still won. So great job, Ben, as well. But he used the Clever and caught everyone's eye and sort of enlightened us and made us reconsider this brewer that has been around for many, many years. And there's always a lot of great brewer innovations, but sometimes, just like fashion, going back through our history and then bringing it back into present day can sometimes be the best option instead of trying to redesign the wheel every time. So today,
I have a confession to make, actually.
Yeah, go.
So, I've come to realize that the Clever Dripper is like a staff favorite here at 8 Ounce. I know that Jen loves the Clever. I could go through a bunch of names, but so many people love the Clever Dripper. I've never actually used it. So I'm going to ask you to teach me today.
Okay, absolutely. Well, it's super versatile, especially if you don't have any brewer in your cupboard right now and you're looking to sort of have a starter set. Probably the Clever is one of the best ones because it's a hybrid dripper is how I would classify it. Hybrid meaning that you can do a standard pour over percolation coffee, but then you can also do a 100% immersion style brew. What I mean by that is on the bottom here, you can actually see this little platform that when you press down onto the cup or a server, then it actually drains the coffee straight through. So if I'm wanting to make a pour over coffee, I can just leave it on my cup or server, just do standard pours, and it'll act like a normal pour over. But if I'm wanting to have like a French press style cup, I can just leave this on a little coaster that it comes with, put in your water, put in your coffee, just let it sit for X amount of time like you would for a French press, but when you would normally release it or you would press the coffee through, instead you can then just pick it up and drop it down. Today we're actually going to be brewing a really great geisha roasted by Colina, which is over in the UK. If you haven't tried their capsules yet, I know that there's a few people like Dianne who absolutely love their capsules for the morning machine, which we just got back in stock as well. And also we can put a link in the description or in the bottom of the video, like right here. Thanks, Jake. Thanks for putting the video right here. But today, what I'm gonna be doing is actually a method that was created by my colleague, John, who also competed in Brewers Cup, and has actually been a recipe on our website and our blog for multiple years now, and is our go-to recipe, super simple and really hands-off, which I think would be really nice for brewers because then you aren't having to spend as much time pouring or doing other things. So then you can just do some steeping and then put it on top of a cup and start preparing for the next one. So if you're A, in a rush for work, or B, in a rush because you're in the middle of a competition, maybe this is something that we should reconsider. So today we're gonna be using just some standard Kalita paper filters, but there are some other options as well, like this new company, Precise Brew. They're out of they're out of Greek, wow. They are out of Greece. They are a Greek company out of Greece, obviously. That is a really great reusable filter that is nearly comparable, and you can just swap out one for one a paper filter. You don't have to adjust the grind size or anything else. Works extremely well. or you can do the tried and true coffee sock. Great, reusable, all hand stitched together over in the US, I believe.
Yeah, and women owned.
And women owned as well. It's a great little company, and I think it's $17 for 2 filters. You can go through a lot of coffees before you need to start considering replacing it as well. So it's a good environmental initiative as well. But today, we're gonna be just using some papers. So it's what they call the number 4. All you do is just fold along this bottom seam here, and then you fold along that other, so you have a nice little corner here. So now I'm gonna turn on my scale. For immersion style brews like I'm gonna be doing here, my standard is just a 15-to-1 ratio, meaning if I'm doing 1 gram of coffee, I'm using 15 grams worth of water. I like using weight, and a lot of professionals use weight, because it makes it much more repeatable, but then also, let's say if you're down to the bottom of your bag and you only have half the amount of coffee you usually use, you don't have to compost that. You literally take the weight of your coffee left over and you times it by 15, and then you know exactly how much water to use for the exact same recipe. Math. You can do it. I failed math in grade 12 and I'm still here teaching it. Since I'm using a 15-to-1 ratio and I'm using 25 grams of coffee, quick maths.
Sorry, I zoned out. So how many grams of coffee do we have?
25.
It's
25
Monday. It's
times
Monday.
15.
It's Monday morning, guys, and I'm making Diane do this before coffee. This is
can I
cruelty.
just guess, like,
Yeah.
370? 375. 370.
Yes, second guess.
375?
Yeah. So since we know that is 375, I'm actually going to add in my water first.
Oh, you're going to add the water.
Because ultimately, I'll explain that first.
Okay.
Before I add in the water, because if I put in coffee first and then add in water, that's great. It makes it really nice and easy. But if your grinder produces a lot of fines, meaning it has like a certain target grind size, and if it creates a bunch of coffee that is below your target, i.e. fines, and you pour that water on top, it's gonna push those fines to the bottom. Just like if you shake a bag of taco chips, where do you find all the crumbs? In the bottom. So we're pushing all those smaller fines in the bottom, and then when we go to release, since those fines are clinging onto the bottom of the paper, it actually slows down your drawdown time. And so then it makes it a little bit longer. So you can adjust that into your recipe, but also increases the chance of it getting a little bit dry and getting a little bit over extracted in some cases. But every coffee has a different extraction. So time and all of that is relative. It is not our end goal, but that's just something to keep in mind. So for my recipe today is I'm actually just gonna switch this over so we have time and weight. I'm gonna add in that 375 directly into my dripper, and I do recommend using boiling temperature just because you will cool off a little bit. But up here in Calgary, we don't boil at 100. So stop creating those recipes for 100 degrees Celsius, guys. I can't do that.
Depends on your elevation.
Yeah, elevation. That's another math and science thing that I can get into another day. But here's roughly the 370. Let's see if I can get it on. Oh, then a gram.
Yeah.
0.2. Okay, cool. And now that we have this, Diane, I'll let you add in some coffee. And as soon as we add in the coffee, we'll start our timer here.
Oop.
Go for it. Yeah.
We're stirring.
And we'll go a bit of back and forth action right here, just to help get the coffee into the water. Nothing too crazy, not too much agitation. We're just wanting to not have anything dry on the surface. And then at a minute, we're gonna break the crust. So scraping backwards here, we're basically wanting to get those down to the bottom. At 2 minutes, we're gonna press onto this. Now, just to recap the recipe, you add in water, coffee second, lightly make sure all of the dry pieces on top are now saturated, and at a minute 30, that's when you break the crust. So then your bed is down here to the bottom. And then at 2 minutes, I like to release. And now you have one final cup It was only about a 30 to 40 second drawdown. So we should actually have a fairly nice cup here, but we'll let our super taster Dianne, who was actually a judge at the event, judge
Wait, I gotta get the aroma.
Judge my cup here. I would like to instruct the judge to grab the carafe and with 4 swirls, then assess the aroma from the carafe. These are like little steps that you would have seen in brewers. And what aromas are you getting from this Gesha from Colonna?
Highly floral, obviously. Tropical fruit, for sure.
Here, we're gonna just try a little bit of it.
To pinpoint that floral smell. Yeah, that's great. Would you say it's a jasmine?
Yeah, it's a really soft floral, like jasmine, almost. Yeah, really soft lavender, almost a bit of lavender violet-esque.
Okay.
A little bit, like a little bit more forward. But it's not like as pungent as like what lavender could be. And now we'll try our first cup here. Ooh, good height.
Wow, look at that.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and learning a little bit more about the Clever with myself and Dianne.
Thank you for teaching me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. If you would like to learn about other drippers or anything else about coffee, be sure to drop a comment down below. We would love to hear what you want to learn about, and we would love to create videos and just help you grow in your coffee knowledge. Be sure to like the video if you liked it. I hope you did. And be sure to subscribe because we will be creating more videos in the future about different drippers, different coffees, just everything within the world of coffee. But until next time, I hope you have a great week and
Happy brewing!
happy brewing!